would you agree a critical area for the region is food waste and converting this through plant to energy? The UAE produces per head approximately 3 times the amount of food waste than in the UK. So what is the strategy? So you just touched on food waste as an opportunity. So clearly this is something that people can resonate
Yes, I mean,
with.
we've for a start, we've been, for the last 7 years, converting the waste edible oils into biofuels that are used in the local market. Today we're sadly only recycling about 10% of Dubai's waste cooking oil. We've upgraded the facility 4 times to deal with increased capacity, and we could process more if we could get our hands on it. But that's a case of working in partnership with local government to put in place regulations that push the people creating the waste streams to do the right thing with their waste streams. So where there's no regulation and no real push to do the right thing, they will do whatever they feel like. And we need to work closer with
maybe
government.
I can come to the regulator here.
Yes. Right, for the food waste, we looked at that after looking at the data, what was coming in. And so we targeted our largest food waste generators, and Ras Al Khaimah was the hotels. We have 25 hotels. So we partnered with the tourism authority, because you need a regulatory body to make people do things. So with the tourism authority, we came up with guidelines, but this was only after having each hotel do trial 24-hour, 40-hour separation for them to believe, you know, you're throwing 1 ton of food away. No, we're not. Until you get somebody to separate it and weigh it for them and show them.
So some of these organizations don't even know.
Well, the GM might not have known it. The back kitchen is like, well, we're just paying, it gets hauled away.
Yeah.
You have to come to a realization of what you're throwing away.
But
and you have to see it and feel it. So once you see it, that you're really throwing this away, then that's a lot of money you're throwing away. So first we're separating it, counting it, and then what are we going to do with it? We actually are in the middle of revising our green building code. Because yes, you can compost food waste, but there's 2 rules of waste. One is don't make it. The second one is don't move it. So we are seriously considering putting in a regulation under our green building law that if you're generating over 100 kilos, you must treat it on site.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of...
This is for Ras Al Khaimah. This isn't the whole of the UAE.
No, there's already some hotels that are proactively doing this. The Ramada and Ajman was probably the first one to put their food composter in. Medina Jumeirah has a huge composter in there. It does like 1 ton or 2 tons a day of food. Cove Rotana has their own composter that makes liquid waste out of the food waste and goes into the sewer system. So we get no food waste out of the Cove Rotana. So it's a demonstrated way that you can do it. So, but the first step is count how much food you're throwing away. And the ministry had a lot of sessions with hotels and chefs to try to show them ways to minimize food waste. One way is to not to cook the entire buffet, have a live cooking station. So you cook as needed, because once you cook something and you put it out, 4 hours later, food control, you have to toss it. So people are being very careful about how they cook the food, how they present the food.